Hello, everybody. It's me again. And today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for, I suppose, for a very long time. And it's something I talk about really often: liking oneself, loving oneself. Today I want to talk about three things that can help you to notice whether you do like yourself or not. And the title of this stream, no, actually the question I asked to announce this live stream was, do you have a New Year's resolution? And the link that there is between do you like yourself and the New Year's resolution, you'll see whilst I'm talking about what's on my mind. It's the end of the year. 2019 is practically knocking on our door, and many of us, I think many of you, at least I have, resolved to do something different for themselves, take a decision to either lose weight, to start going to the gym, to eat less, to stop drinking, I don't know, you name it. It's that time of the year where we try to do something different for ourselves to make our lives better. But very often, at least in my case, I've made resolutions. I've decided, hi Maria, I've decided to, I've made New Year's resolutions, and by the 15th of January I would have given up. And in my case, it's because the actions to be taken were too overwhelming and the steps were too big. So this year I have a suggestion for you to make a different New Year's resolution. One that will not only make a difference to yourself, but it will also make a difference to the people around you. And I would think it's safe to say, I dare to say, that it makes a difference to the whole world. And that is liking yourself, learning to like yourself. But before I do get into the three things that could help you see if you do like yourself, and the things that you do that can show you that can show you what's going on in your head and can show you the story that you keep telling yourself or you keep biting into. Yesterday, finally, after a very long time, I went to watch the movie of Freddie Mercury, Bohemian Rhapsody, and it blew me away, and it touched me too. Freddie Mercury, as you all guys know, many of you know, the people who are Queen fans and Mercury fans, was a musical genius, a great performer, a great entertainer, a man who was full of charisma, who knew how to really really have a good connection with his audience. And he had people he had them eating from the palm of his hand. He was really, really good. But through all that, he was very, very, very insecure. And it strikes me, it hit a note for me. It hit home because I always wonder to myself, which is almost illogical or based on an assumption, a silly assumption, if someone is so good in something, if someone is creating something so beautiful and giving so much to the world, how can they be insecure? And precisely because of this, because of the story, because of the the voice, to the beliefs we hold on to, we hang on to, believe, and make our own. And Freddie did not like himself. And there was one line that really touched me in the movie. He had met a very nice young man who could have been, and who did eventually become, his lover. But as they were sitting down in their first encounter, the man said to him, "Give me a call when you start to like yourself, Freddie." And when death knocked at his door is when he really woke up and realized how much he was giving to the world, how much that he was born to do what he did, and that is at that point he dedicated his whole life to singing and creativity. It's when he realized that when death was knocking at his door. Hi, Norma. Thanks for joining me. It was when death was knocking at his door that he realized that he had used drugs, alcohol, and rampant, reckless sex to forget his stories, his own stories, the story he was biting into. So I came up, and it really hit home. I really cried. I sobbed at this realization, at what we do to ourselves. So I thought, why not share? Why not go live? And as a New Year's resolution, ask people, tell people to consider starting to like themselves, because I truly and sincerely believe that not liking ourselves and having a continuous ongoing war in our heads is the root of unrest that we see in the world, of violence, torture, child abuse, hunger, war, arguments between siblings, it's the root cause of it is that we do not appreciate who we truly are. There's so much conditioning, so much shit going on in our head that we forget the truth and we start to believe the story, which is it is a story. It's absolute rubbish. It's not the truth. So here are 3 things that I came up with today. And again, once again, I came up with them when I was in the shower. I mean, I get inspired when I'm in the shower. And the first thing I'm thinking of is, now, great resolution to have, as we can only love as much as we are capable to love ourselves. Now, some people would argue with that, Norma. Some people would say, since we live in a we think we live in a dualistic world, but we don't. There is no duality. So there is no self to love. We are love. But for practicality's sake, and for people who find it hard to understand the notion of one pulsating heart, one consciousness, and who are not familiar with non-duality, I want to make the language easier for people to understand. And the 3 things that I came up with are: 1, approval. Are you constantly seeking approval? Are you constantly seeking outside of you, from people around you, by the things that you do, by the things that you wear, by the things that you say, by how you show up? Are you doing things in the hope that you will get approved? Are you seeking acknowledgement from people outside of you? If that is the case, that is a sure sign that you are relying on others to know that you are worth liking. And the thing about that is, as long as that you keep doing it, as long as it remains a habit of seeking approval outside of you, you will never know your true worth, because you will always be giving your power away. You will be giving your power to other people. You will be relying on the perception of another person to know your own worth, to know your own value. And a person will perceive you dependent on their own filters, dependent on their own story. So it's never a reliable source, never. The only source which is reliable is yourself. You alone can know what your true worth is when you decide to not give your mind the power. And your mind only has power over you if you give it power, if you believe in the thoughts that come up to you, that float up into your consciousness. As long as you don't believe in your thoughts and you observe without making them yours, then your mind has no power over you. Now that's the first thing. The second thing that I see in quite a lot of people, and I see it also in myself, perfectionism. Are you prone to having everything perfect? It can be anything, the way you look, the way you cook, the way your house is made up, the way you are afraid that you're doing the right thing and it doesn't look perfect. Perfectionism is usually a sign of low self-worth. If it's not perfect, I'm not good enough. If I don't do it in that way and it doesn't look perfect, I am not good enough. So that's the second sign to know, oh, I'm not liking myself if it's not that way. And once again, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do things perfectly. You can do them imperfectly and you still remain perfectly imperfect. And we don't have to be perfect. If that was the case, then I wouldn't have been born. I would have come here and I would have reached perfection. Now that is my philosophy. And the third thing is this, and I think this one is the biggest gift that we've been given, but we don't see it as a gift. We see it as something that is a deterrent. And that is, how do I judge the person that is right opposite me? How am I looking at her? What is going on in my mind as I am interacting with that human being? Now, if I'm judging that person, hello, beautiful, thanks for joining me, Wendy. If I am judging that person, and the judgment is good and bad. If I am judging that person in a good way, then what I'm seeing in that person right opposite me is being reflected back at me. What I'm seeing in that person is something I like in myself, and either I want more of it, and I see it as good. Again, I'm looking at that person with my own filter, with my own story. When I judge that person and I say, ooh, I don't like that person, or I don't like what she's doing, I don't like what he's doing, I don't like how she is with me, I don't like how she acts with me, that is exactly how you are judging yourself. And that is the gift, because every time I met with someone who I feel uncomfortable around, who I want to move away from, that is my gift. She's shining a light, or he is shining a light on something that I still don't like in myself. And I used to see that as a real pain in the arse, as I'm like, shit, that's another person I don't like, you know. And now I'm seeing that, wow, This person is giving me a gift. He or she is showing me something in me that I dislike, so I can learn to like it. So these are the 3 things that I think can help you guys. They certainly help me. Now, to see, do I like myself or not? And what can I do to learn to like myself? First and foremost, there's no need to. You're fantastic just the way you are. But we do have problems because of the story, the narrative in our head. And I'm repeating myself, and it doesn't matter. I'll say it till I go blue in the face. The story in your head is a story. Period. Full stop. It's not the truth. They're thoughts. And the more energy and focus you give them, the bigger they become, the more they become your narrative, and the more you walk around looking at people with that story. So this year, don't make big resolutions. Take tiny steps. New big resolutions usually can be overwhelming. Take one tiny step. Resolve to start to observe your narrative, your story, and what you are saying to yourself on a daily basis. Those small tiny steps will start to lift your spirits, because if you just observe your mind, our mind is like a screen, you know, like a TV. When we're watching, we can just watch our mind, our thoughts, like they were a TV screen. You can watch it, choose to become a part of it, fully immerse yourself in it, or you can just say, this is just a movie I'm watching and I don't have to engage. Because what do we do usually? We either go float to the past, especially when we're in bed. Oh, I could have done this better. Oh, I could have not said that. Oh, I could have been nicer. Fuck that shit, you know? And when we wake up in the morning, we go to the once again, we go to the past, or we go to the past, or we go to the future, and we think of all sorts of things about ourselves, which are such a waste of time, such a waste of our precious time. And do I want death to knock at my door before I know the true value of who I am? Now I get so emotional about this. Just like Freddie Mercury, death knocked at his door before he realized his true value. And then he fucking died. Do we want that? Or do we want to enjoy now? So, do you like yourself? Make the New Year's resolution. The world needs us to like ourselves, to really like the gift that we have been given of life, the gift of our presence to the world, because we're all a present. Make this New Year's resolution. Learn to like yourselves. I promise you, I promise myself that is my resolution. And this time I have left, I have no idea how much I have left. I hope long, but I don't know, we never know. I want to make good use of my time, because if I love and like myself, automatically I'm impacting the whole fucking world, the whole of it, all of it, because it's like a ripple effect. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. It was, I don't know, I don't know. Happy New Year. happy liking yourselves. I'll see you next time, and I love you all. I truly do. Bye.